Alright, here with my Datsun Nissan 280ZX 1982. Come a long way since the bucket of junk that me and my dad bought 8 years ago. He's since passed and left it to me, and I've been fixing it up. Just rebuilt the whole engine. The transmission was automatic. It's now a 5-speed. It's actually the one from the 300ZX. Had to get an adapter plate for that. It's kind of a pain in the butt to find, but I found it. Working on getting some 411s in the back there, but anyway, I'm making this video because I see a lot of people talk down about the 4-barrel setup. Well, I got the air cleaner off just purposely for this video so I can show you some things. By the way, the kit that Motorsport sells comes with a very large air cleaner, which does actually clear the hood on the ZX cars. Takes a little modification to the vent up there, but it clears. I got no dash in here. None of my gauges work, so I rewired everything. Got me a tachometer. My electronic fan switch here. Probably hear the fan on. But anyway, excuse the mess of the wires. I'm in the process of rewiring everything in a new relay, a completely new relay box and everything else. I'm going to get me some Z31 seats, but anyway, so back on the topic here of the 4-barrel. A lot of people say you can't run them, it's not good to run them, inline engines don't like them. Well, sure, they're not quite as good as the triple Mikunis, Webers, or Solex carburetors, but if you know what you're doing, with a very good tune, you can run, you know, a 390 up into a 650 CFM carburetor on the 2.8 liter engine. Now, mine is not a 2.8 liter anymore. It's bored and stroked. I believe it's 3.1, something like that. But regardless, I got guys out in California that are running, you know, that are racing with 600 to 650 CFM carburetors. You got to do a lot of work to the boosters. The floats in the float bowls need to be changed because of the way that the inline 6 engine sits. There's a lot of things you need to do to the carburetors to get them to work properly. My carburetor is currently a 390 CFM, the one that came with the kit. I'm replacing that with either a 450 or a 500 CFM carburetor, mechanical secondary. I'm going to have my buddy do some work to it and get it set up properly. So when you hear people say you can't put a 4-barrel, or it's not recommended to have a 4-barrel on your Z, that's a bunch of bullcrap. You can get it to run just as good as the triples if you know what you're doing and get just the same amount of power goals out of it. You just got to, you know what you're doing. I haven't had any issues with the Clifford manifold running lean on numbers 1 and 6 cylinders. I haven't had any issues. All my spark plugs look generally the same all the way across the board, so no issues there. Another good thing with the 4-barrel setup is that if you have a bone stock L28 or L24, whichever, or L26, Ross makes very, very good forged pistons. You can get the forged pistons for the engine. Put the 4-barrel on there, get yourself a good clutch and some good tires, and put yourself in the high 11s, low 12-second quarter miles with, you know, 150, 200 shot of nitrous. You just, and people, you know, there again, you know, people will turn you away from that and say it's dangerous. Well, nitrous is not dangerous if you have a wet kit, and it's a modern kit, and you have good timing control, cold spark plugs, and run just a tad bit on the rich side. You'll be okay. Guarantee you won't have any issues as long as you got forged pistons. You'll be fine. At least on this engine anyway. So back on topic here. Sitting here looking at my tachometer. I thought it'd be neat to have my little, I turn my key here, which activates the fuel pump. Cranks right up. Once again, I have a broken accelerator pump. This carburetor's junk. That's why I'm getting a new one. But otherwise, it pulls nice all the way to red line. Very lumpy cam in this thing. So there it is. Runs nice. Working on getting the MSD set up on here. But electric fans up in the front there, and got it idling right around 1,000. Running a 560 lip cam in here, so regardless, car's fully stripped. I believe last time I weighed it with me in it, it was what was it, 2580 or something like that, I think. It's basically a fully gutted car. I do not have door bars in these doors. That was a real pain to take those out, but I took those out, gutted the dash. The dash was, just the dash by itself was around 45 pounds or so. But when I weighed myself, I didn't have that seat in here. That seat weighs about 30 pounds. I couldn't believe how heavy it was. Then there was about 20 pounds worth of the air conditioning stuff underneath the dash, and then there was the air compressor, you know, stock fan. It was all fuel injected at one time, so I took all that out of here, and I had a smaller battery at the time, but it burnt up on me. But it's completely gutted back there. There's nothing, even the insulation under the carpet's gone. But here it is. Just wanted to make a quick video and let you guys know that the 4-barrel setup's actually a very good setup if you know how to tune and know a thing or two about changing out boosters to keep that low-end throttle response with a larger carburetor. You keep your primaries with the smaller boosters, and you know, really improves your throttle response quite a bit if you're using a carburetor, you know, 450 to 650 CFM on this little engine. Just takes to, you know, a good jet kit, good booster set, a little playing around with the accelerator pump, and you can get it to run great. You just got to do some work. I got a buddy in Cali, my buddy Daryl out there. He's working on a little project himself. But anyway, go ahead and leave a comment. Sorry I rambled on about a bunch of different things. The 5-speed swap's real easy, by the way. Basically slides right in, and as soon as you get the adapter plate, it bolts right up and works great. But that's it. So this thing's really cool too, by the way. It's an awesome thing to have. Actually, I got my shift point set around 65 on there, if you can see that. So my shift light comes on. Pretty neat. Helps reaction time. And I got a 4-puck race clutch in here. That took some time getting used to. I stalled it a whole bunch of times trying to drive with that thing. Got a stock flywheel right now, but like I said, I'm working on getting a lighter flywheel in here. And the MSD 6AL 2-step. A few other goodies, you know, 411s in the back, and it's already pretty quick. You know, beats my I got 2 friends of mine with mildly modified Mustangs, and it'll keep up and beat them. And but it does its job. Little 280ZX. Anyway, that's it.